Teisha with Shalom TV's News Update. The Jerusalem Post reports that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel's relationship with the United States would remain strong regardless of who wins the upcoming presidential election. Netanyahu made the statements in an interview with Israel's Channel 2 on Tuesday night, saying he would be able to focus on Israel's interests with, quote, whomever is elected in the United States, and reaffirmed that the special relationship between the two countries was, quote, deeper than the newspapers say. According to a recent Gallup poll, Republicans are twice as likely to view Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu favorably than Democrats. According to the poll published last week by Gallup, 50% of Republicans view the Israeli Prime Minister favorably, while 25% of Democrats and 32% of independents have a favorable view. Only 16% of Republicans view Netanyahu unfavorably, as opposed to 23% of independents and 31% of Democrats. The poll was conducted from July the 9th through the 12th over the phone with 1,014 adults. Gallup also compared views of Netanyahu since his previous tenure as prime minister. The May 1999 Gallup poll found that Republicans were less positive toward Netanyahu than they are today, and that Democrats were more positive than they are now. Presidential hopeful Mitt Romney has launched a new coalition of Jewish support. The Jewish Americans for Romney coalition was announced through Romney's presidential campaign Tuesday, where the candidate said the Jewish community has made contributions to American society that stand in amazing disproportion to its numbers, and I am genuinely honored to have so many of its leading thinkers, diplomats, and political leaders support my campaign. The campaign's co-chairmen are listed as House Majority Leader Eric Cantor, former Minnesota Senators Rudy Boschwitz and Norm Coleman, former Hawaii Governor Linda Lingle, currently running for U.S. Senate in that state, and Adam Hasner, currently running for a U.S. House seat in Florida. The group's advisory board of 39 included top advisors to his campaign who have served in previous Republican administrations, among them Tevi Troy, Dov Zakheim, and Dan Senor. After it was reported yesterday that Egypt's new president, Mohamed Morsi, sent his first formal contact to Israel in the form of a note to President Shimon Peres, Egypt is now denying any such correspondence was sent. According to Egyptian media, Mohamed Morsi's spokesman Yasser Ali denied that the Egyptian president sent any letter to Peres, saying, quote, everything the Israeli media published is unfounded fabrications. An aide to President Peres said Wednesday that the letter from Morsi was sent by the Egyptian embassy in Tel Aviv and that officials there had cleared it for publication. The note from Morsi had stated, I take this opportunity to reiterate that I am looking forward to exerting our best efforts to getting the Middle East peace process back to its right track in order to achieve security and stability for peoples of the region, including that Israeli people. The JTA reports that the U.S. State Department released its annual report on terrorism for 2011, which included praise for Israel as, quote, a resolute counterterrorism partner. The JTA also said that the report listed attacks by extremist Israeli settlers on Palestinians as, quote, terrorist incidents, and suggested that this was a new distinction and that previous incidents had been listed as settler violence. However, if one looks at the 2010 report, the same types of incidents by settlers, arson and vandalism against several mosques, were in fact also listed as terrorist incidents, so that the 2011 report does not seem to make a new distinction. And finally, a congressional hearing was held today seeking the freedom of American citizen Jacob Ostreicher, who is being held in a Bolivian jail. U.S. Representative Chris Smith, chairman of the House panel that oversees international human rights, chaired the hearing. Ostreicher, who is an Orthodox Jew, has been held in Bolivia since June of 2011 with no formal charges being filed against him and has been on a hunger strike for several months. And that's Shalom TV's News Update. I'm Teisha.